Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the video. My forehead's nice and shiny, apologies about that. This is a few days old, so I do apologise, I'm a little bit late to it, but obviously we had all this Godzilla vs Kong. I was going to say nonsense, but it's not nonsense, is it? But this pertains to that. Godzilla vs Kong director Adam Wingard is going to be helming the ThunderCats movie for Warner Brothers. Now, interestingly enough, there's also some key producers who were on Godzilla vs Kong who have come over to ThunderCats as well. And I do think this is positive. Like, a lot of people hate Adam Wingard for Death Note. Think he's redeemed himself for Godzilla vs Kong. Some people disagree, absolutely. More than welcome to your opinion. I think he's redeemed himself. I'm very happy with this. Like, genuinely very, very happy with this. So, let's dive into it. This is an exclusive over on Deadline, right? Exclusive! As his new film, Godzilla vs Kong, opens Wednesday in US theatres on HBO Max, after turning up a Hollywood film pandemic record, 123 million, which was only in 38 territories, made 70 odd million in China. Epic. Really, really good, and it's just going to kill it now. I think this will be a very, very strong movie at the box office. But anyway, Adam Wingard is now set to direct ThunderCats, and it is a big-scale feature based on, of course, the animated TV series that ran from ran from 85 to 89 by Rankin Bass. And several other iterations, comic books, merchandise, so on and so forth. Now, interestingly, like I said, key producers here. So, project being developed by Ryback's Dan Lin and Vertigo's Roy Lee. So, Roy Lee was one of the chaps who, now, this article says they were the producers on Death Note. Probably not the thing you lead with, because that's, I mean, you're going to make people hate this decision now. Deadline, what are you doing? But Roy Lee was one of the key producers on Godzilla vs Kong of Vertigo Entertainment. Good producer, actually. Roy Lee does a lot of producing. He's actually one of the key producers on the new Hellraiser TV series, if it ever sees the light of day. So that's actually more positive than what Deadline is making it out, basically, is my point. Now, it says that there's an early script by David Cogshall. Wingard will rewrite a script with Simon Barrett and will turn all this into a hybrid of CGI and animation. I like the sound of that. And I think Wingard has proved himself to be able to work with CGI creations with Godzilla vs Kong. It's difficult to direct stuff like that. It's difficult to direct people around things which just aren't there. But I do think he nailed that aspect of it. A lot of people's main complaint is the human side of Godzilla vs Kong. Completely understandable. The series focuses on a group of cat-like humanoid aliens, ThunderCats, who live on the dying planet Thundera. And the ThunderCats are forced to flee their homeland. Now, interestingly, this is the stuff which people are going to be really happy about. The film will use the animated series as a jumping-off point. That's good. So not just pissing all over canon. Like, we'll address some of that and then move on. But then Wingard will, of course, take it in the direction that he has been thinking about for many years. And we do have the director interview, which we will dive into here. But before we do, good news or bad news? What do you think, ladies and gents? Let me know down below in the comment section. And also, leave the video a like, because you're still here. And we're, like, what, halfway through it? Leave the video a like. So, exclusive, when Adam Wingard appears on a Zoom call to talk about his leap into event filmmaking with Godzilla vs Kong that opens here Wednesday after a huge weekend in China, the director is donning a beard long enough that he could be a model on a cough drop box. Fantastic. What a great way to open Deadline. Just epic. Anyway, no one cares about your beard, mate. Fucking why is that part of this interview? Deadline goes, let's get this story that they just broke, so let's talk about it, which is the ThunderCats. So that's the thing which they speak about the most here. And it's the key point that I want to discuss. Anyway, so Wingard replied to the question, what can you tell us? And Wingard says, ThunderCats is a dream project for me. When I was in high school, I was obsessed with it. You'd think at that point I was a little too old, but my years of obsession with ThunderCats would be when I was 6 years old. So the real obsession with ThunderCats came in high school, the pinnacle of me deciding I wanted to be a filmmaker and pushing in that direction. I actually spent most of my 10th grade year, I completely blew it, and I didn't pay attention in school, made terrible grades, so he's basically just saying he's a dropout flunk. Epic, I guess. And the reason, I was writing my ThunderCats screenplay through my entire 10th grade, so that's why he flunked, because he was writing ThunderCats. Cool, I guess. But the thing which is positive about that, minus the fact that he flunked school, and still made a success of himself, is the fact that he is very clearly a dedicated fan. That's very positive. No one can take that away from this interview. That is positive. He says, I was handwriting it. The screenplay itself ended up being 272 pages long. I still have it. And it was one of those things where I would carry around my notebooks and talk about it. I didn't even realize the kids in my class were making fun of me as they would ask me questions about my ThunderCats screenplay. It was only one day my friends asked me and I was excitedly telling him all of these things about my ThunderCats screenplay. I heard him turn around to some of the girls in the class, and they were girls I had crushes on, and he's making fun of me for writing ThunderCats. Because it was, of course, ridiculous, but that was the first moment where I had a thought that maybe I would not be able to make the ThunderCats movie. So basically just goes on about that for a while, but it just outlines how much of a fan he is. Now he says, I'm in a place where Godzilla vs. Kong has gone well with Warner Brothers. They love the movie, and we were wrapping it. I heard there was a ThunderCats script out there, and it happened to be set up with some of my producers on Death Note and Godzilla vs. Kong. Why do they keep leaving that out? I asked them, I want to rewrite this script with my friend Simon Barrett. This is a huge passion thing for me. Nobody on this planet knows or has thought as much about ThunderCats as I have. They gave me the reins, and I saw this as an opportunity to do a new type of fantasy sci-fi spectacle film that people have never seen before. Now that I like. We constantly bang on about needing new things, new stuff. Everyone's like, yep, stop rehashing crap. But then someone comes out and says something like this, and 9 times out of 10 people poo-poo it. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. I think that's positive. So, he goes on to say, it's got a rich mythology, the characters are fantastic, the colours. I want to do a ThunderCats film which takes you back to the 80s aesthetic. Now that's interesting because we've had a rise of that. Now I don't know whether that's capitalising on that, or maybe it was, well, because it's capitalising on that, it was a note from Warner Brothers. That's the direction you must go in. We'll have to see how that develops and where that goes. I don't want to reinvent the way they look. I want them to look like ThunderCats. I don't want to do it live action either. Please don't. We don't need another Cats. Alright? That was nightmare fuel. Don't ever do that again. Now he continues on and says, I don't want it to look like Cats. Oh, so he literally says what I just said. That's funny. I don't want those kind of issues. No disrespect to that director. No massive disrespect to that director. That was a terrible film. Garbage. Whom I don't mean to throw under the bus any more than everyone else has. I want to do a movie you've never seen before, a hybrid CGI film that has a hyper-real look and somehow bridges the gap between cartoon and CGI. That's the starting point, and Simon Barrett and I are getting into the script now. I like it. I think that's cool. There's not much else to go into, because they immediately start talking about like the face-off sequel and stuff like that, which I don't want to talk about. I think that's a bad decision. We don't need face-off, the sequel. Garbage. 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 But what do you guys think about this? I think this is positive. I really do think this is good news. So please do let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new here, please do hit subscribe. Please do give the video a like and a share. Take care.